The night used to mean something. Not entertainment. Not scrolling. Not noise. Darkness once forced human beings to face themselves. And maybe that is why modern people are terrified of silence. Thousands of years ago, when the sun disappeared, the world disappeared with it. No streetlights. No glowing windows. No endless stream of distraction. Just darkness stretching across the earth like an ocean with no end. And somewhere inside that darkness, a human being sat beside a fire, listening. It is strange when you think about it. Today, nights are louder than days. Notifications never stop. Cities never sleep. Minds never rest. But ancient humans had no way to escape the night. And because they could not escape it, they became intimate with it. Imagine the silence. A cold wind moving through trees. Crackling firewood. The distant sound of animals hidden somewhere beyond the dark. Every sound mattered. Every shadow felt alive. Because at night, humans were no longer at the top of the world. At night, they became vulnerable again. And vulnerability changes people. It sharpens attention. It awakens fear. It forces awareness. Maybe that is why ancient humans looked at the stars so often. Not because they were poets. Because they were small. For the first time each day, they could truly feel it. The size of existence. The weight of being alive. There were no screens to look down at. So they looked up. And what they saw must have terrified them. An endless sky. Infinite darkness. Millions of lights hanging over them with no explanation. No science. No certainty. No answers. Only mystery. Only questions. What are we? Why are we here? Who made all of this? Questions humans still ask today. Questions that were born in the dark. And maybe that is important, because modern life trains people to avoid those questions. Stay busy. Stay distracted. Stay entertained. Anything to avoid being alone with your own thoughts. But ancient humans had no escape from themselves. Night after night, they sat face to face with existence. That changes the human mind. Slowly, quietly, deeply. Around the fire, stories began to form. Not just for entertainment, for survival. Stories helped humans make sense of fear, of death, of storms, of suffering. Before science existed, stories were medicine for uncertainty. And in a strange way, they still are. Think about it. Why do humans still love stories before bed? Movies, books, music, late-night conversations. Something inside us still searches for meaning when the world becomes quiet, as if the night unlocks a different part of the soul. Because during the day, humans perform. At night, they reveal themselves. The masks weaken. The noise fades. And suddenly, people remember things they were trying to forget. Ancient humans probably felt this too. After the hunt was over, after the danger passed, after the fire dimmed low, there was finally space to think. About loss, about love, about mortality, about the people who never came back. Death felt closer back then. Not hidden away behind hospital walls. Not softened by modern comfort. Death was visible, constant, real. And maybe that changed how people lived. Because when life feels fragile, every moment becomes sacred. Today, people live longer, safer, more connected. Yet somehow, more disconnected from existence itself. Everyone is connected, yet nobody feels close. Everyone is visible, yet nobody feels seen. Everyone is speaking, yet very few are understood. Ancient humans had smaller worlds, but deeper presence. When someone spoke around a fire, others listened. Not while checking messages, not while half distracted. They listened because attention meant survival, and maybe that is what modern humans are starving for. Not information. Attention. Real attention. But the night was not peaceful all the time. Sometimes it was horrifying. Humans heard things they could not explain. Movements in the dark, eyes reflecting firelight, strange sounds echoing through forests. The imagination became dangerous at night. Fear expanded, and fear creates stories. Maybe monsters were born that way, not from fantasy, from uncertainty. The human brain hates the unknown, so it fills darkness with meaning. Ghosts, spirits, gods, demons. The night became a mirror for human fear. But here is the strange part. Fear may have also brought humans closer together, because darkness reminded them they needed each other. The fire was not just warmth. It was protection, connection, belonging. To survive the night alone was almost impossible. So humans gathered together, not because they were weak, because they were human. And maybe modern loneliness feels so painful because something ancient inside us remembers this. Humans were never designed to face darkness alone. Not physical darkness, not emotional darkness, not existential darkness. Now people sit alone in glowing rooms, surrounded by technology, yet haunted by emptiness. And the silence still finds them eventually, late at night, when the scrolling stops, when the music ends, when the world finally becomes quiet enough to hear their own mind again. That is when the real questions return. The same questions ancient humans once asked beneath the stars. Am I wasting my life? Does any of this matter? Why do I feel so disconnected? What am I searching for? And maybe the answer is hidden in the past, because ancient humans did not conquer the night. They respected it. They listened to it. They allowed darkness to reveal things. Modern humans try to destroy darkness completely. Lights everywhere, noise everywhere, distraction everywhere, as if silence itself has become dangerous. But maybe silence is not the enemy. Maybe silence is the mirror. And that is what people truly fear, not darkness, themselves. Because in darkness there is nowhere left to hide. No performance, no image, no endless stimulation. Only awareness, only existence, only the terrifying realization that life is brief and precious. Ancient humans understood this more than we do. Every sunset carried uncertainty. Every night could have been their last. So when morning finally arrived, it meant something. The sunrise was not ordinary. It was survival. Another chance. Maybe that is what modern life has stolen from people. Not comfort. Not technology. Meaning. When everything becomes available all the time, nothing feels sacred anymore. Not food. Not rest. Not conversation. Not even time itself. But thousands of years ago, night forced humans to slow down, to gather, to reflect, to stare into flames and wonder who they were. And maybe, in some strange way, they understood life more clearly than we do now, because they knew something modern people keep trying to forget. The darkness is not separate from life. It is part of it. Without darkness, fire means nothing. Without silence, connection means nothing. Without death, life means nothing. And perhaps that is why humans still feel something ancient when they look at the night sky. A strange ache. A quiet pull. As if some forgotten part of the soul remembers sitting beside a fire, watching sparks rise into the darkness, wondering what it means to be alive.